All right, Rabbi, say good morning. So we are continuing on page Kuf Pei Beis. To remember again in the parak titled Chelkei HaChassidus, the various aspects or different pieces of the Midah of Chassidus. So remember again, we're seeing now in these incredible Gemaras that the Ramchal is quoting different great rabbinic personalities. And when they're asked the fundamental question of Bameh ha'erachta yamim, to what do you attribute your longevity, they give the most dramatic answers. And what Ramchal is pointing out is they give answers that you would not have necessarily expected. And the idea, the common denominator amongst many of the answers, I forgot to, 1 second. We're going to just send, I forgot to send the paper. Okay, hold on. Okay, so now everybody has the papers as well. So remember, the Ramchal is giving these examples of these Chelkei HaChassidus, these various aspects or dimensions of pious behavior. And again, what he's showing is the true definition of Chassidus, which means a willingness to go above and beyond expectations and to go the extra mile for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ultimately demonstrating an intense love. Going back to our core definition, that a chassid is someone who goes above and beyond, not really even out of a sense of duty or out of a sense of obligation, but rather more profoundly out of a sense of love. Because when you love someone and when you love something, you want to give it or you want to give them more and more. So he goes on. Another incredible example. Od Sham Shalu, top of page Kuf Pei Beis. Od Sham Shalu Talmidav Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua. Bameh ha'erachta yamim. Rabbi, how did you, what do you attribute your longevity to? Amar lahem, this is incredible. Miyamai lo asisi kapandaria lebeis haknesses. I never made the shul into a shortcut. In other words, we'll say there's a concept of not using a shul as a shortcut. Now, why? What's the logic behind that? The logic behind that is that ultimately, again, it appears to be a certain level of diminishing the sanctity of a shul. Right? The shul is a place of worship. Place of worship should be regarded ultimately with some level of reverence. To use it as a shortcut seems to diminish that level of reverence. So therefore, again, I never use the shul as a shortcut. And furthermore, Falo pasati al rashi am kodesh. Now, literally translated, what this means is, I never trampled on the heads of Jewish people. All right, so that certainly sounds like a good idea. What exactly is the Midas Chassidus? And so the Gemara there explains to me something a bit different. Rabbi Elazar ben Shmuel was like this. He said, when he if you look at footnote number 30, he says, Kishea Tamilim Beis HaMedrash, Yoshua Agabi Akarka, Haholich Agab Misibasa, Makum Yishivasam, Nira Kiposei Al She'am. But this is actually pretty incredible. So Rabbi Elazar ben Shmuel said, the way it used to work in Talmudic times is that the students would sit on the floor, and the Rebbe would sit on some higher level. So the concern was, if Rabbi Elazar ben Shmuel were to come late to shir, and the students were already seated, as he would walk over them, as he would walk between them, it would look as if he was walking on top of them, right? If they're sitting on the floor and he's walking through them, so it would look as if he's walking on top of them. Walking on top of them, he felt, would have been a slight to their dignity. So therefore, again, the postscript that the Gemara says is Rabbi Elazar ben Shmuel was always careful to make sure that he was the first one to arrive in the Beis Medrash. Pretty incredible. He was the first one to arrive in the Beis Medrash. This way, Chas v'Shalom never looked like he was trampling on anyone. He goes on. Hine. So we'll say, so what do you see from this? Now we'll say, now what's amazing is when you look at these Gemaras, so you would have expected that when the students approach their masters, their teachers, and they say, to what do you attribute your longevity? So you would have thought that the answers would have been quite dramatic. I never wasted a minute. I learned Torah 14 hours a day. I gave away most of my resources to whatever. Those are the answers I think you would often expect from dramatic, but you begin to see that the answers that are given are not that at all. The answers that are given are things like, I always made Kiddush with wine. The answers that are given are like, I never made the shul into a shortcut. I never even gave the appearance that I was trampling on others. So again, says the Ramchal, what's the common denominator here? Hine zeh hamidas binyan kavod beis hakneses ubinyan kavod abrios sholifsoa al gav misibas and shleiros kimavaza osan. The idea is, what is what Elazar ben Shammua said? What was he essentially saying? I was careful never to look like I was ever denigrating anything. I was never denigrating the shul by making it into a shortcut. I was never denigrating people by making it look like I was walking on top of them. So that denigration, right? That denigration, that feeling ultimately again that I was never taking liberties. I was never taking liberties with the kavod of another, or ultimately again with the kavod of a space. Says Rabbi Elazar ben Shammua, that's the schus, that's the merit, ultimately that gave me my longevity. Chassidus, going above and beyond. One more. Od Sham, Shalom to Esrei Prida. The Esrei Prida, the same question. Rabbi, how did you benefit, how did you enjoy, how did you merit such longevity? Amar lahem, miyamai lo kadmani adun lebeis hamedrash. This is incredible. I pray that says, no one ever got to the beis medrash before me. Can you imagine this? Every single day. No, and by the way, that lashon lo kadmani means he was always the first one. Always. Some days it could be the first one. Other day, I was always the first one there. Next, v'lo berachti lifnei kohen. I never made literally it means I never made a bracha in front of a kohen. Remember what that actually probably means is I never led benching or made hamotzi when a kohen was present at a suud. In other words, I always yielded the right to the kohen. And I never ate from an animal whose sacrificial parts were not already removed. So although technically speaking, you could eat. So again, what do you see from here? Same idea. Is there a mitzvah? Is there an obligation to be the first one in the beis medrash? Is there such an obligation like that? No, there's not an obligation. There's a beauty in it, but there's not an obligation. Is there an obligation in every single situation to yield to a kohen? No, not in every single situation. Can you eat from an animal ultimately again before its portions have been removed? Technically you can, but the idea being what? Again, midah chassidus, going above and beyond the expectations of the letter of the law to give more to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. One more. V'od amru od. Shalu tell me this, Rabbi Nechunya. Rabbi Nechunya b'meha arachti yamim. Rabbi Nechunya, to what do you attribute your longevity? Amar lahem miyamai lo niskabarati b'klon chaverai. I never gained honor through the degradation of my friend. It's an incredible yesod. I never did anything to boost myself up at the expense of another person. It's actually very interesting. Literally it means, and my friend's curse never came upon my bed. We'll say, what does that mean? That I made sure to straighten out everything before I went to sleep at night. Right? Whether I was angry at someone or someone was angry at me, I tried to never put my head on the pillow until I straightened out any interpersonal discord. Can you imagine that? I have to imagine you sleep much better at night. But so I made sure literally the curse of my friend, whether I felt negative towards someone felt negative towards me, I straightened all of that out before I went to bed. So again, what do you see? You begin to see, and these are the most dramatic. These are the most dramatic exchanges, because in these gemaras, what the students are really asking the rebbeim are, what do you feel to be like your hallmark accomplishments in life? What do you feel to be are the most important things? And if you notice, the answers that they give are not the typical answers we would expect. Instead, ultimately, what we see is the answers we get are different manifestations and examples of Chassidus. Great people, not just simply fulfilling obligations, but trying their best to go above and beyond in an expression of love for their fellow man and for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right, so we'll stop over here. We'll pick up in the bottom of Kuf Pei Beis tomorrow.